to address us. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Please, let's take our seats. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, PS2. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, members of the Kenya government team, the members and board of directors of AAR Group, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think it is still morning. Yeah, morning. I'm truly delighted, and it's a pleasure for me to join the AAR corporate community and its stakeholders in making this important milestone that opens a new chapter in your strategic journey and ushers in a new era in Kenya's healthcare sector. I am delighted to preside over this occasion in order to underscore a few critical points worth noting. The first is the priority of healthcare in our government's agenda for transforming Kenya. Healthcare is not just important, it is fundamental. It forms one of the cardinal pillars of our radical bottom-up transformation agenda. The people's fundamental right to healthcare constitute a vital component of our governing mandate, and it is important to use such an opportunity as this to lay emphasis on this particular subject. Secondly, universal health care, which makes medical treatment a public good, is a means of increasing the disposable income available to Kenyan households. By drastically minimizing expenditure on health needs, Kenyans will have more savings to invest in goods that enhance well-being and grow their wealth. This is how a thriving economy is built sustainably from the bottom up. It is also in order for me to adequately speak to the subject of the broad spectrum of health needs and serve diverse needs of patients from various socioeconomic backgrounds. Our healthcare ecosystem must itself process a rich mix of varied service providers. And I want to welcome the AAR team into the space and the ecosystem of provision of hospital facilities in our country. This is going to be a continuous collaboration between public and private. It is with clarity that I believe the best way to, the most efficient way of delivering on our health objective is to create a seamless partnership between the private sector and the public sector and be able to dissect what best can be done by the private and what best can be done by the public sector and everything in between. We are committed to refine and package appropriate incentives and a facilitative policy framework in order to attract service providers from the private as well as religious-based sectors, besides the government-owned facilities. Exactly what I am saying, that there needs to be build an ecosystem where the private, faith-based, and the public facilities can work together. We are also committed to the active promotion of healthcare system that is robustly attentive to preventive healthcare in addition to curative healthcare, because prevention is always the most efficient deployment of resources and the best means of enhancing well-being and minimizing suffering. In order to accomplish these crucial purposes, it is paramount that a highly attractive investment environment is intentionally cultivated to assure investors that their ventures in Kenya shall be competitive, productive, efficient, and profitable. The political climate is important to this end, as is the policy framework. I thank and I take this opportunity to assure all investors already on ground and those whom we shall have the honor to welcome in the coming days that Kenya is safe, secure, stable, democratic state anchored on the rule of law with a very well developed legal system which guarantees the security of property rights and is committed to a free market economy. It is important for me to say this because to be able to build on the model that we have on public-private partnership, it is critical that all our partners understand that Kenya is a free market economy that is democratic and that nobody is going to take advantage of their investment. Our democracy is vigorous, transparency and accountability is robust, and the system of checks and balances works. Our judiciary is independent and effective, as is the general enforcement of law. We have invested tremendous effort to reassure all stakeholders on this score, and we are determined to sustain this commitment because the integrity of governance is the foundation of our economic competitiveness. A significant policy intervention targeted at lowering the cost of medicines and medical commodities as a component of the cost of healthcare is the government's endeavor to institute reforms at the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency. This will facilitate innovative medical procurement modalities, including the possibility of bulk procurement in conjunction with stakeholders, including faith-based and private organizations. And I want to state here that our reform of the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency is well underway. We want to make it a fit-for-purpose vehicle for delivering our medical supplies in a competitive, cost-effective, and timely manner. Equally significant is the government's resolute decision to establish and to promote local manufacturing capacity for healthcare products, together with the acquisition of the necessary technologies to make sure that Kenya meets a significant proportion of its requirements through local production. These reforms will be accompanied with complementary efforts to make the National Hospital Insurance Fund a strategic purchaser of healthcare services. And again, we are working the numbers. My team is working with the Ministry of Health to make sure that we have an essential package for every condition and for every item that we need in that space. And in the next coming days, we will be informing the public on which direction we are going, because universal health care is a must deliver this time round. We've made several attempts. The Grand Coalition government made an attempt on universal health care, and we didn't succeed. The Jubilee administration made an attempt on universal health care. It didn't work. We are not going to fail a third time. So I have told my team. This time round, we must get it right, and it must be from the bottom going up, because we believe that the most efficient, the most effective way of dealing with healthcare is at the bottom, where we are working with community health volunteers and workers. And just this weekend, we sat down with all our governors, and we have agreed as a whole of government approach that our first intervention is to make sure that the 100,000 community health workers across Kenya will now be hired by both the national and county governments to provide the first line of response and the first line of contact between the healthcare system and the citizens of Kenya. We will agree to build it up continuously. We have agreed to ensure that all the health workers are trained seamlessly and they are capacitated in the same manner so that we do not have gaps and we do not have sectors that are doing different things from the others. We encourage all players in the healthcare sector to use this opportunity and explore imaginative possibilities to collaborate under various configurations, including public-private partnerships, in order to bring to healthcare the strategic and collaborative ventures that have been successful in other sectors. The government is also taking substantial measures to ensure that education and training provides the skills and professional capacity required to run a globally competitive healthcare sector. Again, we had a meeting with all our governors this weekend, and we have agreed on how the training of healthcare professionals will be shared between the county and the national government. And we have also agreed on a mechanism that while the training of our healthcare personnel is going on, our facilities, either at the county or at the national, do not suffer. We're going to have a conversation, and we are going to work with all stakeholders to make sure that we facilitate the training of our healthcare personnel without necessarily interfering with the provision of health services. Our vision of this sector is to enhance the health and well-being of every citizen in order to make them live longer, happier, and more productive. In so doing, we set a firm foundation for sustained economic growth. At the same time, we achieve the equally critical objective of saving the country the more than 10 billion shillings that we spend annually on treatment abroad. Finally, and also fundamental, we intend to turn Kenya into the most attractive destination for healthcare and medical tourism in Africa and possibly globally. I am confident that we can and will achieve our objective because all that is required is the right people and the right investment. Kenya's strength has always been our resilient, hard-working, well-educated, and highly skilled manpower. We are now taking firm strides to attract and promote appropriate investments that will help us deliver on the various configurations of partnerships on all items of our development, including healthcare. The opening of the AAR Hospital, a modern facility which represents a monumental investment by the AAR Group, is an important signal that Kenya is roaring into action in terms of attracting the caliber of investment that will quickly turn our healthcare sector around and propel us to the leading pack of globally competitive medical services destinations. I congratulate the AAR team for what you're doing. I have gone round and seen the facilities in this hospital, and I confirm that they meet the highest of standards, also, although I am not qualified. But from a scientist's perspective, I see that there was some science put into the construction of this facility that is patient-centric, that puts the patient at the center of the facility that I see here. Congratulations to you, and I look forward to working with you as I do with the other private sector players the public sector players, and every other configuration in between, including public and private partnership in the delivery of our healthcare program. Congratulations to you, and I assure you of our government support for investment like this in hospitals and in any other facilities that you will be engaged in. I also wish you success in your new phase of operations as you go into the actual delivery of health services in this facility and all the other facilities, as I congratulate our partners who have worked with AAR Kenya to make sure that this wonderful piece of health infrastructure has been delivered. Congratulations to you, and we look forward to working with you in other fields and in supporting our agenda. I declare the AAR Hospital facility officially opened. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Asante sana.
Another warm round of applause for His Excellency. And as now we have the hospital officially open.